Alrighty then. Let's see if you guys could actually hear me. Let's see how long it takes before that actually catches up. Oh, of course it's buffering. I am clipping. $4.11 now. How are you? Ape Riot, how are you? There we go. That's better. I'll be taking my headphones off soon. I just have to check and make sure that the stream is good on audio and video. Now I sound too quiet. Because I could hear myself coming back into my ears and it's really messing with me. We are in the office. We're not out in the wild. We're not out at the building this time. So I could actually see the chat without having to scroll back through with my finger and interrupt the video. And the YouTube live streaming platform sucks lately. It's not what it used to be. Okay, all right, it sounds good. I could actually see the chat window now, which is awesome. I'm going to pop the chat window out so I can look more at what I'm doing instead of that. Now, I'm going to be looking off to the side because the monitor is in front of me here. I have the camera off to the side, so that way it's not like right here and you're not staring at this part of my face, so that's why I have it back a little bit in case you're wondering why. Long-time subscriber, just want to say thank you for the vids you do. Great work. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you enjoy the videos, and I'm glad they've helped. I'm going to give it a couple of more minutes here and see if any more people come in. This is one of those impromptu streams where I just felt like doing a stream because they made an announcement yesterday. We're going to basically be closed now until the end of April, so I don't have any work. So what I'm going to be doing is doing some more live streaming, hopefully answering a lot of questions that people may have. It's just better that way, I guess. I don't want to go without having content because I don't have any carts coming in to work on. So it's not really any fun having a YouTube channel where I upload videos and I don't have any golf carts to work on, I guess. Use StreamYard, it's free. You can stream to a lot of platforms. You get, I believe, 40 hours a month. Yeah, there's a lot of streaming third-party assisted things out there. I know Streamlabs is one. What's the other one that I was messing with? Stream Elements, all kinds of stuff like that. I don't want to stream to multiple platforms. I just want to stream to YouTube. It makes it a lot easier. I don't like Facebook, so I won't stream there. And Twitch, I'd rather stream to Twitch because the quality is way better on Twitch than it is on YouTube. But all of my followers are here on YouTube, and most of them don't really know about Twitch, as far as I can tell. I mean, there's not a lot of golf cart repair video channels on Twitch. Monetization on Twitch is a little bit more difficult too. Thanks, Amazon. Just waiting to see if there's anybody else coming in. There's not very many people watching right at the moment. Let's see here. I don't think you guys are going to be able to hear all that noise in the background. You might. Yeah. There is a lot of wind today. It is very windy outside, and you may hear the wind blowing. And if you do, it's going to be loud because it's just... oh no, I'm touching my face. I washed my hands. It's just been windy all day today. Woohoo, caught you live. Hey, Mr. D, how are you? Chris Thrift, having a beer with Kevin. Is on my bucket list. Awesome. I have to go grab a drink of water. I'll be right back. Hang on a second. I don't think I need my headphones anymore either because I feel like I'm yelling louder than I really need to be. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. All right, got myself a glass of water. Let's put my lav mic back on. Sorry about that. Let's put this back on, make sure I'm not clipping. Ooh. Oh yeah, I could hear the wind. Wow, there's a pretty big delay on this. That's all right, whatever. I'm gonna fix my camera and mic here. All right, let's just give it a couple of more minutes here, and I'm gonna mute this. All right, I don't think I need my headphones anymore. I'll check on the audio every once in a while if there's an issue, but for the moment, I'm just gonna leave those off. Let's see here. Partying down in South Florida. Hopefully you're quarantining yourselves down there and not out in public and spring breaking it up. Let's make this chat window larger so I could actually see everything. Let's make it really big so things lay out nicely. And I'm actually going to put it over on the second monitor here. I apologize if I burp. I don't mean to be rude or anything, but it just may happen because it happens. We're human. Binge watching your older content today, working on getting a Yamaha G1 back up and running. Oh, good. A nice old two-cycler. That's pretty cool. I'm actually going to... Wow, it is windy out there. It is windy out there. I'm hoping that you guys are going to be able to... Oh, let's do this real quick. I'm at work and those days are long gone. Sorry, 411 now. I kind of just like brain farted there for a minute. Kind of, you know, I have squirrel moments. You know, I'll be talking about one thing and then squirrel. You know, and if you caught my last live stream, you'd understand that. I'd be in the middle of talking about something and completely forget what I was talking about. Completely forget what I was talking, who I was talking to. All right, let's see here. What I want to do. What do I want to do? I want to... Oh, Mail's here. I'm surprised she didn't wail on the horn like she normally does. I'm just watching her on camera. Can you guys hear that wind? Let's see. Hey, what's up there, Pete? Let's see, Kevin, you should come down to Fort Myers. We could keep you busy fixing stuff. Oh, I bet. I bet. You know, that was something that a lot of people tried to convince me to do, was to move down there because of the large golf cart communities all over the place. But the problem with that is, if I were to come down there now, starting out, it would be very difficult for me to get my foot in the, you know, get a foothold on something, especially being a one-man show and all that stuff. It just wasn't feasible. Plus, it's too hot down there for me. I like the Four Seasons. I want to move this. Oop, it's stuck to my shirt. I'm gonna point it down so you don't keep hearing every time I swallow. Can't hear the wind, huh? Well, it's probably not that bad. I have you guys on my lav mic. I could walk away from the camera and still talk to you. I'm gonna pop open this window because it is hot in here. So just give me 1 minute. Turn some heat off here because we don't want to be paying to heat the outdoors. All right, here we go. All right, I'm back. The wind's going to be picking up a lot later on today. Do you guys have any questions or anything? I mean, that's why I'm going to probably start doing live streams a little bit more often. As I said a little bit earlier, the state, Pennsylvania governor has issued a stay-at-home order and all non-life-sustaining, non-essential businesses to remain closed until April 30th. Yeah. So that sucks. That really sucks because most of my customers, they live in an area that is like a seasonal campground or, well, actually, yeah, most of them are seasonal campgrounds, and they're not able to come into the state because they've also put a freeze on short-term rental units. So, like, if you want to rent a place for a month or 2 weeks or whatever, you can't come into the state, which kind of sucks. Well, at the same time, it's good. You know, I mean, I'm glad they finally did that, but it still sucks. What's the suggested social distancing distance on a golf cart? Boats are supposed to be 50 feet or more apart. That's weird. Well, I guess, well, it's more fun to drive a golf cart by yourself than to have anybody else on it because, you know, some people don't like when you do power slides, especially the people in the back seat. Talk about a Club Car M-Core upgrade from M-Core 1 to M-Core 4. I have not done an upgrade on an M-Core 1 to M-Core 4, so I couldn't really tell you much about that. Stay-at-home order here in Washington State as well. Yeah, this sucks. This 2020 sucks so far, I have to say. Not to sound all negative or anything, but yeah, it really does. Sorry, Mr. D. Yeah, I can't really go into something that I haven't done. It's not something that's really been needed. I haven't really need to do that, so I don't really have any experience with it. Unfortunately. So, yeah. But I do have a couple of projects coming down the pipe. I have a 2008 Club Car Precedent electric 48 volt that's getting electric motor and a controller upgrade, battery cables, you know, it's getting a whole facelift. I got a new body for it. I actually started the video back in January, I think it was. And I haven't really had a chance to finish it because with everything going on, I basically haven't been doing much out in the shop. And a whole bunch of other stuff has come up, and it's made it pretty difficult to work on it. I actually, I have a couple other, there was a couple of change of plans with that cart, so that was the reason why one of the reasons why I stopped working on it. Plus, I started cleaning the shop. I know you guys that watch my videos for a long time, you know that my shop is not exactly the cleanest shop, but I don't care. It works for me. Let's check chat out here. Road trip. Nah. Road trips are expensive in a diesel. Hey, what's up there, Jason? How are you? Hey, car guy. Tell me you didn't crush the marathon yet. No, not yet. My excavator is actually sitting out in the driveway. The stick is off it. The boom doesn't have a cylinder. And it's basically parked for now. Who do you get quality parts from for older used carts like the Yamaha G1? I've been using Buggies Unlimited, but they don't carry everything. I have a wholesaler's license, so I buy through vendors. I don't buy through retail outlets. Did you get my email by chance? I don't know. I haven't really checked emails because, well, let's see here. Where's my mouse? Oh, what is this? Okay, when it's, all right, let me just, I don't have it. Nope, I don't see anything in the support inbox. I have a 2001 EasyGo 36 volt, and the left side rear squeaks near the tire. But it also changes with speed and turning. What do you think? You might have a bad wheel bearing or axle bearing. The left side rear. The left side rear axle squeaks or the spring? Like, is it... Well, you said it changes with speed and turning. So I'm going to assume axle bearing. They're pretty simple. They're pretty easy to change out. It takes longer to get everything apart that you need to get to it than it does to actually do the bearing change out. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, 2005 Club Car Precedent topic sent to your YouTube email. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I have you sent it to YouTube at kevinsgolfcarts.com, I'm assuming. I'm going to have to kind of fire through. I'll have to look through those, my emails a little bit later. I haven't had a chance to. There's about 300 emails in there. I got to kind of siphon through them a little bit. I got a lot of the... Okay, I thought that was wind. Ooh. Now you can hear it. Yeah, sorry. See, I told you, I'm like a squirrel. Or I'm like a... I don't know what I... Yeah. Give me a little bit of a breakdown if you can, Jason, on here. Maybe I can kind of talk you through it. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Tommy? My club car is very sluggish when going from idle to grabbing some velocity. I feel like it should have much more responsive. Is this normal? What year is it? And are we talking... Okay, so you must be talking about gas if you're going from idle. I'm assuming. I know it's not good to assume, but I'm going to assume gas. What oil do I recommend for the FE290? Any 10W30 conventional oil is fine. You don't have to use synthetic or anything. I use, it's basically like a Mobil 1 mix, Cam 2. But I get my oil in 55-gallon drums. I don't buy them by the container. Mid-80s gas Kawasaki. All right, so then you have the horizontal or the vertical engine. If it's a mid-80s, you don't have the overhead valve engine then. Those carts are a little bit slow. I would, if you haven't already, I would change your belt. Yeah, flathead motor. Yeah, they are good motors. I had a cart here. It was an 85. It was an 85 Club Car DS. And boy, I tell you what, the body on those carts they're built like brick shit houses. They are strong. The body on them is like that thick. And you can't flex them at all. They take a lot of work to flex them. The carts from 91 and up, I believe, 92 and up, they're just all like flimsy injection molded plastic, where the old ones are more like fiberglass. Really nice bodies. But yeah, those flathead motors are good. If it's slow, you're going to have to check, yeah, like you said, lots of play in the pedal. You probably have linkages that are out of adjustment, wore out bushings in the linkages, throttle cable may be stretched. You'd have to check all that stuff, because when you step on the pedal, and if you're going like a quarter pedal before the throttle actuates, then you have to make some adjustments to your linkages and cables. Yeah, those are good motors though. That you take good care of that engine, change the oil regularly, every season. Even if you don't use the cart, change it every season. That motor will last forever. I've had a few people that blew them up because they didn't change the oil frequently. Let's see here what we got. Now also, when you're getting that cart running and you got all the throttle adjustments taken care of. Just make sure your belt is running at good width, because you don't want to be too thin on the belt, because it's going to change the geometry of the drivetrain. Where am I from? I am from Northeast Pennsylvania, near Moscow, just outside Scranton. I have a 99 club car. I just got running. Awesome. Need a lot of work. Now it's bouncing off the rev limiter. Never did it before. What to adjust down? You are going to have to adjust the governor. The accelerator cable coming off of... Well, actually, there's two cables you can adjust. The control box under the seat. There's a cable that comes out of that. The linkage from the gas pedal to that control box is a mechanical bar, basically. There's not a lot of adjustment on it. So if you go from that control box under the seat, it'll be a black, kind of like trapezoidal shaped box. It'll have a black cable coming from it going to the rear diff, which is the accelerator cable. Make sure that it's not too long. If it's too long, you're going to have too much pull. You want to shorten it down by loosening the 3/8 nuts that are on each end of that cable and kind of getting it just right. And then you could there's not much adjustment you could do from the governor to the throttle body and the carburetor. That's the throttle cable. I don't think there's really any adjustment with that unless you do some bending of brackets. But I don't recommend that. But you want the cables to be shorter if you're hitting the rev limiter. Now, if you're driving the cart and you're noticing when you step on the gas and you put it to the floor and it hesitates to accelerate, where it's kind of like, it sounds like the engine's just not, it's not revving fast enough. A lot of times the governor's blown up, and I have not been able to find any replacement parts for that. Let's see, where did I leave off here? Got a FE400, pros and cons. FE400's a good motor. They usually use those mostly in like the utility carts. The 290s are in like the golf cart, the fleet carts. Also, let's see, let me go back here. I'm kind of losing my space here. Okay, I also have a 2015 E-Z-GO Freedom RXV. I'm sorry. It's 48 volt. It is very hard to keep it at a steady speed. It seems like it wants to jump, relax, and jump forward again. You might have a failing electric brake. You might have a failing electric brake. I don't like E-Z-GOs. The way they're engineered is, to me, it's stupid. No mechanical brakes. Like, drum brakes were just fine, and they went over to this electric brake, which I don't understand why they did that. Somebody thought it was a great idea. Drum brakes never fail. 95 E-Z-GO gas. Is there any adjustment on the drive clutch? The car is really sluggish going up an incline, but runs really well on flat surface. Oh, 2005, not a 95. Okay, so it's probably a TXT, I'm assuming. Check your belts. If your belts aren't new and they're getting too narrow, you're going to lose a lot of power and they will slip. But there's really no adjustments on those clutches. Those clutches are basically set and forget kind of thing. Close this here. You'd only have to really change out the drive belt, though, the big heavy one. If that's there is a maximum, or there's a minimum width that the belt can be, and once it gets below that minimum, then the belt, it'll just keep slipping. Also, if your clutch faces, the sheaves, are stepping and they're not smooth, like if you run your thumb over it and you can feel that it's got a little bit of a lip, but it's not real pronounced, you should be fine. But if you rub it and you can feel a defined step, then the clutch is shot and you have to replace it. Because then it'll just keep eating belts up on you. Because it's also, what that also does is it changes the pitch and the geometry of the drivetrain, and then everything just kind of goes to pot after that. throw my headphones on here real quick. I just want to check, make sure the audio is still good. As soon as I start talking, there's like a 10-second delay between what I see here and what I see here. Okay, audio's good. It's not clipping, it's not staticky. I'm just trying to keep my headphones out of the way so that I don't... Oops, that's not the right button. Okay. Great audio here. Thanks. You're welcome, Greg. Try. I mean, like I said, those are the inexpensive things to try first. I hate to see you put a clutch on it if it doesn't really need it, but a lot of times when any golf cart, whether it's Yamaha, E-Z-Go, or Club Car, the loss of power, especially climbing hills, always most of the time it's always a bad belt. Usually, 90% of the time, it's a bad belt. They're a consumable thing, just like the generator belts. Those are consumable. They do need to be replaced every couple of years. Have you ever rebuilt a 295, 395 E-Z-Go engine? Yes, many of them. I could do those in my sleep. I haven't considered doing a video on them because, I don't know, I'm not really crazy about doing videos on engine rebuilds. They just take so long. Those engines, those Robin engines, if that's the one you're talking about, yeah, the 295 and 390, or, well, 295 and 350? Or are you talking about the Kawasaki? Because now I can't remember. It's been so long since I've done one, I can't remember what their CCs are. Have you missed the stream? No. We're only going for about... How long have I... Yeah, about a half hour. I'll be on here for a little while. I'm going to keep this stream going for a little bit because I have nothing else to do right now. When welding on a frame of E-Z-Go, should I disconnect the batteries? Yes, absolutely. Disconnect the batteries. I would definitely disconnect the batteries for sure. Even though the electric carts are not supposed to be frame grounded at any point, but still. If you're going to be welding on the frame anywhere near the controller, I know it's a lot of work, take lots of pictures, but I would take the controller out of the cart because all it takes is one EMF spike and then it kills that controller. Yeah, 295 and 350 Robin engine. Yes. Yeah, I've rebuilt a bunch of those motors. They're really easy to do. There's just a lot of little pieces. And their rebuild kits for them are expensive. But they're good motors. They really are. What do I think of the cheap carbs on eBay? They're all the same. They're all the same. They're probably the same carburetor that I sell. Just going back here, making sure I don't miss anything. FE290DS, put away in the fall, won't start. Clean the carb and put a new carb on, still won't fire. It is cranky. Oh, and it backfires. Hmm. 120-pound compression good on a Robin 295? Yes. Anything over 120 is good. 120 and up. If the DS is not starting, won't fire, and it backfires, you could have a timing issue, but the timing on those is set by the crank on, or the flywheel, because it's a magneto, basically. I don't know. See, I've never had one of them backfire before. Did you hook the battery up right? Make sure your spark plug's good. Make sure the wire is good. Make sure there's no corrosion. I'm just trying to think of what to systematically go through. Those are the club cars have, well, the DSs, the gas DSs have some of the most simplest electrical systems. You could do a compression check on it and make sure you have good compression. But if it ran last fall and now it's not running, I mean, you clean the carb and put a new carb on, I mean, you might have some bad gaskets. That's possible too. I've seen that happen. I have to mute my audio because I can hear my... I'm trying to think what else that could be. It could be a number of things, but they're such simple engines. If you have also if you have a micro switch that's failing, because those systems close to ground to shut the ignition off. So in the control box underneath the seat, you'll see like a trapezoidal black box that has a solenoid in it. There's a 10 amp fuse. Bearing in mind that you have a bone stock cart with no other factory installed options, the voltage regulator's in there. Yeah, the solenoid, the voltage regulator, the fuse block, and the micro switches coming off of the accelerator. If those switches are failing and it's kind of activating but not activating when you're stepping on the pedal, it could be closing to ground internally on the switch, even though the switch sounds like it might be functioning correctly. So I would get a multimeter and do a continuity check on those switches. They're a simple, normally open, normally closed with a common terminal switch. Any micro switch. You can find a diagram for them anywhere online. That's what I'm thinking if it's backfiring, because I mean, something's out of adjustment somewhere or not working right. Making sure my lav mic, I got this wireless lav mic, it's called a Pixel MK20, and the battery meter on it says it's full, and it will say it's full even when it's dead. Yeah, if your battery's good and hooked up correctly, I would definitely check the micro switches that are under that cover, that black box down by the air box. It's where the accelerator pedal rod goes into, and you'll see the throttle cable, the accelerator cable come out of it. It's where all the electronics are for the cart. That's the only electronics on that cart. The only other wiring that goes up front is going to be for the key switch and the oil light, if you have one. They should have one, but yeah. Can't see me anymore? Try to refresh your page there, Mr. D. Everything looks good on my end. Hey, no problem. Just, yeah, like I said, just double check those. Get a good multimeter. You want to put it on like the ohms reading if you're checking continuity. Then you can check to see if the normally open side is staying open and the normally closed side is staying closed. And then actuate the switch, press the switch in, and see if it's backwards. Yeah, so it looks good on my end. I'm watching my own stream just to make sure nothing happens. I'm actually going to load this one, because then I don't have to keep turning around to look at myself. I can look almost right at the camera. Make sure I'm muted. I'm going to pause this one so I'm not watching my stream twice. Oh my God, my hoodie is dirty. Well, that's what happens when you're a working person. Top chat. See, I have this selected as live chat. YouTube live streaming stuff is terrible anymore, in my opinion. It's not as good as it used to be. Like, I used to do a lot of live streaming a long time ago before I really got into golf cart stuff. Before I started getting into recording golf cart videos, I used to do a lot of live streaming on an old tech channel that I had a long time ago. And it was so much easier. You get this data and plug it into this software and hit start stream. Now it's like I got to go here and live dashboard and this, that, and the other thing. It's so stupid. It really is. I wonder... No, okay, it's not that. Ooh, the stream is going really choppy. Let me do this here. Can I send you a video if it's not the micro switch? If you just upload a video to YouTube and then comment on this video with the link, I can check it out. You'd have to comment on this video after the live stream because I won't. I have links blocked on the live stream. Yeah. Any other questions, anybody? So for those of you that are just joining the live stream now, I'm probably going to be doing more frequent live streaming because the Pennsylvania governor has issued a stay-at-home order, has extended the stay-at-home order to the end of April, to April 30th. So all non-essential, non-life-sustaining businesses are ordered to close, and without, you know, there's some that have exceptions to that and they can stay open, but golf cart repair is not an essential business, so we have to stay closed. Nikolai Leatherworks, what is up there? So yeah, we're going to be doing a lot more live streaming just to kind of keep some content coming to the channel because I really don't have anything to do. So I you know, you might start seeing some videos that aren't even related to golf cart work. I don't really want to do that. I want to keep this channel strictly golf cart repair because that's what it is. Any recommendations from your store? What? A golf cart repair? Certainly essential. I know, that's what I said, but they said no. Any recommendations for what are you looking to get? Buy it all. Buy everything. As long as, and that's one thing I want to note on that, as long as my vendors stay open, online sales will still ship as normal. Most of that stuff is drop shipped anyway out of Maryland, Texas, or Florida. I try to get it from the warehouse that's closest to where your address is. Unless it's going to be out of stock for a month, and then I'll ship it from the next closest warehouse. But if you're up in Washington State, you're pretty much screwed no matter which one I send it out of. It's 5 weeks anyway. Do I have a video about upgrading gears like 8-to-1 on a Club Car DS? Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no, I don't. What's my website? kevinsgolfcarts.com. Now, I don't have any videos on upgrading gears in any rears. There's only a couple of carts that I've actually ever done a high-speed gear upgrade or a low-speed gear upgrade, depending on how you look at it, upgrade or downgrade. I've done one on an electric Yamaha. 12 years ago. That was pretty easy. It was harder to get the rear out of the cart. It was a lot easier to get the rear out of the cart than it was to try to work on it above my head, so I just took it out of the cart. The whole entire rear diff, I took it right out. And Easy Go Marathons, 94s actually. I've put 6-to-1, I believe it was, or was it 8? No, it was 6-to-1. High-speed gear sets in those carts with lift kits and engine upgrades. Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, 411 now. I knew you were up in Washington State. That's kind of why I said that. Because anytime anything is shipped, for whatever reason, to the far reaches of the Pacific Northwest, it just seems like it takes forever. And the same is true in reverse when it's coming from the Pacific Northwest to here. It just feels like it takes more than a week. No, it doesn't feel like it. It does take more than a week. Plus or minus on Western Electric carts. Plus or minus on Western Electric carts, the brand, or carts that come from the West? If it's carts that come from the West, they're just as good as any other cart. But if it's the brand, I have no idea. Let's go make one. I don't have any rears to change out. And plus, with not working right now, my cash flow is 0, so I'm not going to spend. like them or hate them. I don't know. I can't really say anything because I have no experience with them. The carts that I have experience with, obviously the big three: Club Car, E-Z-GO, and Yamaha, in alphabetical order. Kind of okay carts that I've had experience with: Star and Fairplay, which I don't like either one of them either. I don't like the way their controllers are programmed. The throttles are too touchy. It's like to me it's like somebody's on crack when they program them. They're not smooth accelerators. Like, for example, a Club Car Precedent, even a DS, like you step on the pedal, it's almost like instant response, like you expect it to be. But you get into, like, the Yamahas too kind of annoy me, the electrics, the way they're programmed. But like you get on a Club Car. Let's say we get on a 2005, 2004 Club Car DS, just for the heck of it. 48 volt, bone stock cart. You step on the pedal, you hear the solenoid click, and the cart just moves with it responds almost immediately to your throttle input, to your pedal movement. Okay? You stomp on it to the ground, it takes off. If you get on an E-Z-GO, the electrics, the older electrics, I'm not talking about the 48 volt AC ones with the RXVs. Junk, my opinion. Sorry if you like them, but I don't like E-Z-GO RXVs. I think they did a lot of stupid engineering with those. But the older E-Z-GOs, like the, let's see, let me try to think of a year. 2000, let's say 2000 E-Z-GO TXT 36 volt. Yeah, a 2000 plus cart that is still a 36 volt cart. I can't figure that out. E-Z-GO. But even the 48 volt TXTs, you step on the pedal, solenoid clicks, and they respond almost immediately to your throttle input. You get on a Yamaha 48 volt. There's not very many 36 volt Yamahas until you get down into like the G4, G2s, G6s, and all that. Even the G14 I believe was a 36 volt. But you get on a G16 or a G22, for example. You step on the pedal, you hear the solenoid click, and then you hear the controller thinking. It kind of does that little chirping thing, and then it's like, oh, okay, let's go. I hate that. I have an 02 G22 out in the driveway right now that I have to change the controller out because it's being dumb. I've changed the throttle sensor. It just doesn't move. You stomp on it, and it'll sit there for a second, and then it'll slowly ramp up. And yes, it is a stock controller. But the Star and Fairplays do the same exact thing as the Yamahas. They have that, they have to think, and you try to give them a little bit of throttle, and then it's like the curve goes like this. There's no like smooth curve in the throttle. I don't like them. And plus, they ripped off E-Z-GO a long time ago. At least that's what I think they did. I don't know if they really did that, but I'm going to assume so. Let's see, there's another brand of electric carts that I absolutely hate. Evolution. I had an Evolution here, a demo. I was going to be an Evolution electric vehicle dealer. And after having a nightmare of a time trying to get support, I turned that deal down real quick. I said, get this thing out of here. I don't want to deal with your Evolution garbage. Get it off my property. 2.5 years later, I had to threaten them with crushing it with the excavator before they would come and take it. They took it. It's gone. It was a 2016 Evolution Classic 4, the DC model. And then they were going to send me the AC model. I'm like, no, I don't want your cart. For 1 year, I had it here, and the frame started to rust. 1 by 1 box square tubing is what they use for their frames. 1 by 1. Probably 1/8 inch, not even 1/8 inch thick. I'm going to say 1/16 of an inch thick. It was thin. And it looked like whoever, I don't want to say powder coated it, but whoever put the coating on it, oh, it was terrible. It was chunky and flaky. Oh, garbage. And, oh, the other thing that I really didn't like about them, and this is all stuff that I brought to their attention when they sent me the demo unit, because I know my customers would complain about this, so I complained about it to them before I even put it on the market to sell it. The tow run switch, I feel, should be under the seat. Just like the club card. Easy go. Yamaha. Under the seat. You know where Evolution puts it? On the dashboard. Okay? I understand why, but at the same time, it belongs under the seat. That's where everybody else does. Let's see. David Potter. Are you the David Potter I know? With the puddle? Just curious. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Hi, Dave. Anyway, back to... So the other thing with the Evolution vehicles were the seats were really uncomfortable. They were firm, and not comfortable. After sitting on it for a while, it was kind of like, eh. You know, it made your butt hurt, made my back hurt. The windshield... the windshield, whatever. Windshields are windshields. The side view mirrors, okay? When I install those flip-in side view mirrors, I usually install them with the center of the mirror right about at the center fold of the windshield. So that way, when you're sitting there, you have full adjustment. So if you're tall, you can adjust them back and out. Or if you're short, you can adjust them down and in. So that way you can see behind you like you're supposed to. The Evolution mirrors were mounted so far up on the front windshield, the front top strut, that you couldn't fold them down, especially for somebody like me that's short. I'm only like 5'7", you know, and so to tilt the mirrors down, they just wouldn't come down far enough to where I can see behind me clearly. It was really annoying. So I brought that up to I guess it was the production manager or whoever she was out in Chino, California. I said, hey, listen, call the factory and tell them to either move the mirrors down or add more holes so you can adjust the mirrors up and down on the pillar, on the post. And they said, okay. And I said, I'm telling you, I said, that would make it a big deal so I don't have to be punching holes in the side of a brand new golf cart. Well, they've listened and they were going to do that, and then they said, no, we don't think that that's really feasible. And I'm like, all right, well, whatever. It was a minor little thing. The other problem I had was when you turn the key off and you have the parking brake set, which, by the way, it only clicks once. So if the brake cables are not adjusted tight enough, the cart will still roll when the parking brake's set. You can't push it down to the floor like you can like the Yamahas and the club cars. They don't have that, like the E-Z-Gos have that single lock point, but usually it's when the pedal is pushed all the way to the floor. These things, they would click once and then rebound a little bit, and it wouldn't tighten the brakes up all the way. So there is a high maintenance item right there, is adjusting the brake cables where they're not really self-adjusting, which is really annoying. Let's say my early 80s Yamaha G1 gas will outlive all of us all. Never failed me. I'm just doing ground up restore on it now. Yeah, that's awesome. Those older 81s, and those older 81s are powerful carts too. Those two cyclers are really powerful carts. Let's see, Jay, great videos. Thank you for your help. You're welcome. I'm glad they helped you out. The other thing, going back to the Evolution, the only way, like, okay, so when you turn a key off and you have wait, what was I saying before? Okay, back to the parking brake. You step on the parking brake, okay, locks the brakes. If it's out of adjustment a little bit, the cart will still roll. It'll creep, you know, you'll hear the brakes kind of groaning a little bit as it's rolling forward, but still. It's like, really? And then when you set the brake lights turn on. Okay, perfectly normal. And they stay on. All the time. Even when you shut the key off. Or the only way to shut them off is to turn the tow run switch to tow. It's the only way you can shut the brake lights off when the parking brake was engaged. Now, how a lot of my customers drive their carts. They have kids. You guys may have kids that drive golf carts. What's the last thing on a kid's mind when they're driving their golf cart hanging out with their friends? Setting the parking brake and turning the key off and putting it in tow so the brake lights shut off. They're going to stop the cart, slam the brakes on, and power slide into their driveway and jump off the cart with the cart practically rolling still a little bit until the rollaway brake kicks in. Yeah, so the lights are going to stay. The brake lights will be off then, obviously, but if they lock the parking brake, leave the key on, and run away, and they're playing inside on video games for 3-4 hours, now the back brake lights are staying on. I brought that up as an issue, which could have easily been resolved with a time delay relay. Well, they thought that was dumb. And then gave me attitude about it. So I basically just told them, I said, get your MFer cart off my property. Yeah, I was mad. I was really mad. Really, really mad. Oh, and then the one I had, it had a groaning sound in the rear. They didn't put gear oil in it. And there was no throttle response whatsoever. It was, you step on the pedal, this much, you had click, and then you go this far, full speed. That's it. Somebody screwed up the programming on that controller. They were supposed to send me another controller to remedy that with different mapping. Never did. They were supposed to send me something, because I was a dealer technically, to remedy the rear end noise. Never did. I always had attitude anytime I brought up these types of suggestions, and it's like, I'm not going to sell your damn product then if you're not going to listen. Whatever, they're gone. I actually had some people want to buy these things and have a custom order put to me, and I talked them out of it after all the problems I had. I said, I don't want you to buy a cart from me. I'd rather you go buy a cart somewhere else. That's how bad I didn't like them. Yeah. Okay, so that's enough of my rambling. You guys have any questions? Load up the comment section here. I gotta get another drink of water. Oh wait, I can take this with me. What am I thinking? I forgot. I got a lav mic here, and it's wireless. Rinse my cup out. Now that I've stood up, I keep burping. I'm sorry. I think I gotta open another window. It's getting warm in here. Okay. Steve Brown. 2004 Club Car Precedent gas. When I step on the gas pedal, it clicks but doesn't turn over. If I pump the pedal, it eventually turns over and starts. Is that a micro switch issue? Possibly. You're going to have to get underneath the seat with the voltmeter, and you're going to have to do some checks on the solenoid. You go from the negative side of the battery, and the positive probe, you're going to check both sides of the solenoid to make sure, obviously make sure power is going to be on both sides. When you probe the negative terminal and the positive terminal, one side will always be hot or always be live. Touch the other side of the large terminals now. Touch the other side, it should be off. If you step on the pedal and the cart is not cranking over and there's no power there, then you have a bad solenoid. If there is power there, it's possible the brushes in the starter generator are just wore out, and to check that, you're going to have to pull the starter generator. They're really different. Unless you don't have a back seat on it, you might be able to pull the access panel off the back and get in there and take a look. But you pull those rubber grommets off the starter generator and look to see if the brushes are in there. If the brush material is flush with or below the carrier that it sits in, it's time to replace the brushes. And it's a really easy job. It's not hard. It's harder to take the starter generator out of the cart than it is to change those brushes. It's a little more time consuming. You could change 2 or 3 of them while it's in the cart, but it's so much easier to do it on the bench. Then you could actually get in there and take a look at everything. Make sure it is all in good shape. Wow, we've been going for almost an hour already. This is definitely a lot easier to monitor chat sitting in the office than it is to try to do this on the mobile. Because you know what, the mobile, the streaming capabilities on an Android phone with YouTube Mobile is terrible. If you guys caught the last live stream, chat messages would pop up on the screen, And then before you could even realize it's there, it faded away. It wouldn't stay on screen. And I can't find a setting anywhere in the app to change that. You're welcome, Steve. If it's the other thing you can check too is if you step on the pedal a couple of times and you have power on both sides of the solenoid and all that stuff. If you step on the pedal and the engine's not cranking, let go of the pedal so the solenoid shuts off. Rotate the engine a little bit by hand. Grab the clutch and just kind of give it a quarter turn and then step on the pedal. If it does start, then that's definitely brushes. Let's see, here we go. I have a Yamaha gas cart and the gas pedal gets stuck. That's common. That's common. Any possible advice on getting it to come back and turn the motor off? You're going to have to peel up the floor, the floor rug, the carpet, well, the rubber mat, and gain access to that access panel where the pedal assembly is. You'll have to take that pedal assembly apart and clean all of the moving components and grease them up with some lithium grease, put it all back together, and then it should be fine. That's a common thing on those. I've done a lot of those. Got to head out. Thank you again, Kevin, for all the excellent content. You're welcome. Have been a help to more people than you know. Well, I'm just glad that my videos are helping somebody, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are very handy. They're able to do this kind of thing, and they're just not really sure where to start. For now, at least, until like all the new carts start to flood the market, you don't need any special equipment really to work on these things. The newer carts have ECUs now because most of them are fuel injected, which is that's going to be an expensive fix, because now you're going to need a diagnostic tool to plug in. I have a 2008 Yamaha cart, Yamaha Drive. Yeah, that's a Yamaha Drive or a G29. How do you add trans oil and check after removing the axle? There should be 2 bolts on the trans axle. One on the bottom of it should be for the drain, and the one on the top should be the fill. Well, it's not on the top necessarily. It's about halfway up. I'm actually not 100% off the top of my head. It's one of those things like when I get underneath the car to go, oh, that's right, that's where it is. But I'm pretty sure that it's dry. No, it's not. It should be on the passenger side, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just trying to think what else. Any other news and exciting things happening? Not really. Nope, just still under stay-at-home orders because of coronavirus. Yeah. Sure, all you guys are loving it too, right? Yeah. What are you going to do? Just everybody's got to do their part, I guess. We got to beat this thing. Bum, 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 bum. Do I have multiple live streams going? Yes, I do. That's why it's chopping down. You're in New York, very bored. Yeah, I'm in PA and I'm very bored. What part of New York are you in? Roughly, you don't tell me exactly what town you're in, but it could be in a roundabout town. This is the internet. Ooh, excuse me. I just had lunch before I started the stream, so that's why I'm a little burpy. Oh, you're up in Buffalo. Okay. Up near Buffalo. Nice area. Lots of snow, usually. I was up in Niagara Falls a couple years ago. That's a nice area up there. But see, one thing with me, I'm in a rural area, so the whatchamacallit, the stay-at-home order, I don't really go anywhere anyway. I don't like to socialize at bars and clubs and all that. That lifestyle is gone Besides, it's cheaper to drink at home. If I'm going to do anything, like I'll leave the house here, but the only place I'll go is I'll go over to the storage building. And between here and there, which is a matter of 12 minutes, and is it 12 minutes? Yes, 12 minutes. It's like 4 miles, 4 or 5 miles. It's not far. I don't interact with anybody because it's all rural. You know, I'm down in 10 plus acres, deep in the woods. I don't interact with anybody. I usually go over there, and I'll be going over there hopefully sometime this month. I'll be start pulling carts out of storage and start getting them all washed up. I was going to start that this week, but they extended the stay-at-home order, so now I'm all the way to the end of the month. And it only takes me about 3 weeks to wash and service all of the golf carts that I have in storage. There's about there's over 100 carts in that building. Let's see, what am I missing here? Yeah, I live in the suburbs of Buffalo. Yeah, that's a nice area up there. That's a very nice area up there. Jason, he watched South Main Auto Channel. Yes, I watch Eric O all the time. I actually subscribe to his channel. It's funny when I was reading your comment when you said, when you're asking Car Guy if he watches South Main Auto, I heard in my head, hey there viewers, welcome back to the South Main Auto Channel. It just played in my head without even thinking about it instantly. It was so funny. I guess you had to be there to experience it. Yeah, Eric, he's a good guy. He's a very intelligent man. I like when his wife gives him a bunch of crap, though. I think that she's a pretty funny lady. Oh, yeah, not a sponsor, yeah. Yeah, I like when he says that. And you know what? I catch myself when I'm making my videos because there's a certain group of YouTubers that I watch. Like, I watch a lot of technical-based YouTube channels. And I catch myself using a lot of their techniques just because I've watched them so much. It kind of sticks in your brain a little bit. And sometimes you don't even realize it, which is even more funny. Like, I watch, like a lot of the technical channels I'll watch... BigClive.com. I like his videos. I watch South Main Auto. I like the way Eric does his stuff. See, I can't even think of any of them off the top of my head. A lot of the tech YouTube channels I watch too, like the computer stuff. I used to do that stuff for a living a long time ago. I just don't do it anymore. But I'm still into it. I still like to follow it and see what's going on. I want him to set my carb and MSD on my 68 I have. Can't get it right. I don't think he does carburetor work, though. I've seen a couple of his videos where he talks about it where he doesn't work on... I mean, I'm sure he'll do it, but I don't know if he does it, if that makes sense. I'm a gunsmith by trade. I worked for OF Mossberg for about 10 years. Wow, nice. Very nice. Oh, you don't have to suck up, Car Guy. Big Clive is awesome. Yeah, with his Doc and Stome. I like Big Clive. I think he's a really, really good guy. He did great on his dad's truck. You know, I think I missed those videos. A lot of time, there's some videos that I miss. Like I don't usually go back through my subscriptions and look at everything that I've missed. If I did, I'd never get anything done. You ever seen that girl that does noodling? Oh my God, she's hot. No. No, I usually I stay on YouTube to watch technical videos. I don't watch other stuff. Oh, and car crash videos too. I like to watch those. Wolfpack Wolf, what's up? Dun 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 dun. I mean, obviously these channels have a much bigger following than I do. But I appreciate each and every one of you that have subscribed. Everybody that watches, I appreciate it. You know, I mean, they're taking time out of your day to watch some guy work on golf carts. I mean, who am I? I'm nobody. Do I like gaming? I like playing games, but I don't like watching them. Like, I can't sit here and watch somebody play Minecraft for 6.5 hours. That's boring to me. Trying to think what you can ask me because you're going to be working on my club. You're going to be working on your club car. I'm not made of money. If I was made of money, I wouldn't be me. I'd be money. Boy, I wouldn't want to be made of money though. If you think about it. Just imagine what a dollar bill goes through. Just imagine what a $20 bill goes through. Just imagine where that $20 bill has been. Imagine if you were a 20. You'd probably be in a lot of places you wouldn't want to be. Do I have any animals? I don't have animals, no. I'm not a pet person. I don't have time for pets because I'm so busy with everything going on. I wouldn't want a pet that would get neglected. I would rather see a pet be with a family or people that can take care of them the way they deserve to be taken care of. Imagine what Eric O has in tools alone. His scan tools alone are worth more than most golf carts. What games am I going to pick up during the plague? Nothing. Not much. The weather's starting to break. I'll be outside more than I will be inside. Thanks for joining, Tommy. I'm glad you were able to hang out with us. Take care of yourself. That's squirrel syndrome? What squirrel? Yeah, squirrel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's me. I'm easily distracted. It takes me a long time to shoot a video when I'm working on a cart. There'll be times I'll be... You know, it's not even just my squirrel that comes up when I'm working on golf carts. A lot of times I got to deal with the UPS guy, which he's a great guy. He's just man of few words. At least one of my drivers is. But I'm on a first name basis with all my UPS drivers. I almost said USPS. I'm on first name basis with all my mail carriers from the post office. FedEx, they've got personalities of wet rock, so I don't really even try. Sorry if any of you guys work for FedEx. I personally don't like the FedEx guys in my area. They're all careless. Just fixed a broken game system. Nice. The game of life, then. Yes. The game of life. What's left of it, anyway. Well, alright. Not what's left of my life. I just mean what's left of life in general because of all the nonsense going on. And I don't mean nonsense like it's not a big deal, because it is a big deal. It just sucks. Did you miss my question on that Yamaha trans plug-on oil plug-on filling? No, I think I answered it, didn't I? Yeah, because I think you asked about... Unless it didn't come through. Let me see. Have not found a drain plug on the bottom, only the driver's side. No, there should be a fill plug on that. Unless it's on the... I have to look at one now because now I can't remember. I have a Yamaha drive out in the shop I have to get some work done on. Once I get out there and I start looking at that, I'll have to look at that. Let's see, where did I leave off here? So sorry, Wayne. Yeah, it must have went past. I missed your question. Ohio here, what's going on, good sir? Not a whole lot. That's why I'm sitting here talking to you guys. I have a lot of time to kill right now. Thanks for all the help with my DS. You're welcome. My 3-year-old keeps me busy when I'm working on the cart. Hey, that's fun though. At least you got somebody, you know, you got a kiddo there with you that's interested. That's memories making right there. It was a PS4. Oh, the game system that you fixed? I bought a PS3 a long time ago when Circuit City was still around. When the PS3 first came out, I bought it because it had a Blu-ray player in it. That was the only reason. Because Blu-ray players were twice as much as a PlayStation. I was like, ah, screw it, I'll get a PlayStation. Plus, I could play games on it. I have a hard time playing games on console because I like keyboard and mouse. I don't like game controllers. Unless it's a racing game, then that's different. Wow, breezy out there. I do know one thing about my precedent. You can diagnose what would... hang on a second, my eye is twitching. I do know one thing about my precedent. You can diagnose what would cause a hard start when you have to put your foot on the throttle. Just a touch to get it running. I'm not sure what you mean, Jason. I think I might have kind of read that a little funky. Do I like swimming? No. I used to have a pool. I drove a golf cart into it. That was fun. Not from like a deck or anything, but like right into the side of it and popped it. It was we were going to tear it down anyway, but that was just fun. It took a couple of tries. But yeah. No, swimming, I don't care. I'll go to the beach and that'll be it, but I don't really care about swimming. I'd rather bike ride, mountain bike. But let's see. All right, Jason, let me come back to you real quick because you said something about hard starting club car. Are you asking me to diagnose a hard start? Or... what would cause a hard start when you have to put your foot on the throttle? Just a touch to get it running. Well, the way the throttle works on a cart is like when you step on the pedal, gas cart now, when you step on the throttle pedal, accelerator, whatever you want to call it, the solenoid should click and the engine should crank over before the throttle body opens on the carburetor, not after. So when you step on the pedal, we're going to say, here's the floor, here's the pedal. So this, well, club car is going to be like right here. So when you step on the pedal, it should go click, and then the engine should crank, and then as you feed into that pedal, then the engine should start and run. But if you step on the pedal and it clicks, runs, and then fires right up, it's out of adjustment. You have to make sure that it's cranking. That throttle body has got to be closed before the engine stops cranking and before it starts cranking. So when you let off the pedal, you'll get backfiring that way too. Because if the throttle is open, it's basically like starting an engine at half throttle. Not really good for it. That why you don't drink in public anymore, LOL? No, because it's cheaper to buy booze and drink at home. And I don't have to deal with idiots. I can listen to music that I want to listen to, and I can talk to myself, because what better person to talk to? I talk to myself a lot. They say geniuses do that. Oh, I just missed a call. Delivered. Awesome. I ordered a laminator, so when I start selling golf carts again, I could actually put all of the information on a sheet of paper and then stick it on the steering wheel. I missed what you said. Telephone, sorry. I'll play back later. Oh, you're talking about... oh, okay. All right. Sorry. It's not that bad, Mr. D. I'm not a lonely drinker or anything. I just prefer to drink alone. Or in the company of close friends and family. I don't like drinking with strangers. Besides, they don't like when you drive a golf cart in a bar. Not that I do that or anything. Drive and... Have I been drinking yet? Let me try that again. Squirrel, see? Not that I drink and drive a golf cart. Ever. Who does that? Just pools. Yeah, just pools. Are you a fire guy? Do I like fire? Yes. I love sitting by the fire. A nice tall glass of wine. I don't drink beer. I can't drink beer. I can't drink hard liquor because it upsets my stomach. But I could drink wine. Oh, great. Here we go. We're going to be listening to this nonsense for the next hour. But I'll fill a glass like this with wine, and it'll be gone quick. I'm not an alcoholic or anything. I just like the taste of it. I drink a lot of water. I looked like Ryan Reynolds for a second there. I'll take that as a compliment. He's a good-looking dude. He's a funny dude, too. Okay, so let me go back here real quick. You missed what I said about the golf cart. To save you from having to go back and try to find it again, here's the floor of your golf cart. Here's the flat part. Pedal sticks up out of here. Here's the other part. So when your pedal's like this, okay? When you step on the gas pedal in a golf cart, now this is any cart. This is how this is supposed to work. You go click. When you step on a pedal, the solenoid should activate. The cart should crank over. The engine should crank over, not run. There is a big difference. I know a lot of people I see in the comments that they confuse engine cranking with engine running, because they'll say they step on the pedal, the engine's running, but it's not moving. When in fact, it's only cranking. It's no different than putting the key in your ignition and starting your car. Well, for the older cars that used to have those things called keys that you stick in and go, and it starts. When you step on the pedal, it's very similar to that. Or just like in a newer car, when you hit the start button, it cranks over and then it runs. So when you step on the pedal on a cart, you step on that pedal, it should click, the engine should crank over, and you should have to put your foot into it a little bit more before the engine will actually start. You may have to use the choke. That's perfectly normal, especially on a very cold engine. If you step on the pedal, it clicks, and then it fires up and it's running at a quarter throttle already, you're way out of adjustment. You have to fix that. If that throttle body on that carburetor is open at all before you let go, before the engine shuts off, you're going to get backfiring. If it's open before the engine starts, like meaning that when at rest and the throttle body is open just, a little bit, like let's say just a little bit, it's going to backfire. You're going to have all kinds of problems. You have a golf cart worth $3,300. It's old, though, and not usable. Then it's not worth $3,300 if it's not usable. I hope that makes sense. I know if that was a little confusing, I'll try to clarify it if it was. But you always want to make sure the throttle cables, the accelerator cables, the governor cables, you want to make sure that the throttle body on the carburetor is always closed before the pedal is pressed down and after, and always closed before the engine shuts off. Otherwise, it's just going to create a lot of issues that you don't really want to have. Oh, you bought it for $3,300. You bought a cart that's not usable for $3,300. I hope you were able to take it for a ride before you spent that kind of money on it. Did I do a video on that? I don't remember if I did a video on that or not. I might have. I might not just have it finished editing or something. But yeah, that seems like a really good topic, because I know that can be confusing. Okay, it was usable. It was working for 5 years. Okay, all right, just making sure. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward process, Jason, as far as like the throttle setup goes. When you make your cable shorter, it takes longer for the pedal to actuate the throttle. That's basically how it works. And by making them shorter, you take the adjustment nuts, you crack them loose, and then you make the cable shorter, technically, from end to end. I mean, not the actual cable doesn't shrink, but like the point from where it leaves the control box to where it hits the differential, you're shrinking the length of it. So that will extend the length of the inside cable, inside the sheath. Boy, I hope that makes sense, because I know that sounds like it makes no sense at all. Just got a new fuel pump in the mail. Yippee. Awesome. They're cheap too. See ya, Wolfpack. Thanks for joining us. Dun, dun, dun. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward with that stuff. I mean, making sure that all the cables are adjusted correctly is very important. The same can go true for the shifter cables too. You always want to make sure that those are adjusted correctly. It's not super critical on the twin cable shifters like the older EasyGos. Who else did double cable? Did Yamaha use a double cable? I can't remember. I think they did. Yeah. Oh, geez, now I can't remember. Brain fart. I know Club Car, for as long as I can remember, has mostly always used a single cable shifter. So when you're in neutral, there was a detent on the rear, forward, and then neutral, and then reverse. And it was always one cable. And if that's out of adjustment, it won't go into forward or it won't go into reverse. We're gonna just let that go to voicemail. I'll answer that later. Easy Goes 2. Which one is it? Oh yeah, it's the TXTs, I believe. The newer TXTs, the 2006, I want to say. I can't remember off the top of my head. Was it 2006? Might be 2004. At any rate, the TXTs, they went from a double cable shifter that was spring-loaded to a single cable that was not... Is it still spring-loaded? Yeah, I think it is spring-loaded. If that gets out of adjustment, which over time it will stretch that cable, and you have to just kind of adjust them, because if you ever notice driving that, it won't go into forward, but it'll go into reverse. Sometimes it'll go into forward, and then it won't go into reverse. It's one of those two ways. And if you adjust that cable out, you get a little bit of time out of it, but then it's going to be time to change it, because they stretch out a lot easier for some reason. I ordered a tune-up kit, new air filter, fuel filter, spark plug, and oil filter carburetor. Oh, sounds like you're doing a whole revamp there. Air filters, if you're not in a dusty area, it's not super critical to replace those. Spark plugs, I don't usually change them out until... like if I pull the spark plug and it's a nice cocoa brown and the electrodes look really good, I'll just put it back in. There's no sense of changing that out. Yep, it's 4:04 p.m. here in Eastern PA. We're Eastern time. We're Eastern time here, which is kind of nice, I guess, because I live in Eastern time. So it's nice to be in Eastern time. Spark plugs, yeah, like I said, spark plugs, if they're not wore out or they're not, if the gapping is good, the electrodes are good, they have they're nice coloring to them, it's okay to keep using the same one. You don't have to replace them out. And always, 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 if possible, that was weird, use NGK spark plugs. They are the best, and they are the most compatible spark plugs you can use in any golf cart. That's all I use. I won't run anything else. I won't run Champion. I won't run Autolite. I won't run Fujitsu or any generic branded spark plug. I will only run NGK plugs. I'm gonna grab another glass of water here. And the other thing too is if your air filter is not dirty, if you pull it out of the air filter housing, and if you tap it on the ground or on your hand or whatever and nothing comes out of it, you can reuse it. There's no sense in changing it because it's not dirty. As long as you're not noticing any performance issues, it's okay to reuse that stuff. The other thing too is fuel pumps. I change them out if they're not pumping good, but they don't pump a lot anyway. They only run at like 1 psi. There's not a lot of pressure behind those. Let's see, what else? What else did you say you got? Fuel filters I change regardless. If I do any carburetor work, even if I had just changed that fuel filter, I will replace the fuel filter again anyway because they're cheap. They're cheap enough. They need to be changed out regularly anyway. Especially if you're using non-ethanol, or if you're using ethanol-based fuels, you got to change them things out all the time. But if you're using a non-ethanol fuel, like a ethanol-free fuel, 91 octane, you'll be fine. It takes a lot to kill the carburetor though too. If you leave ethanol fuel in a carburetor over 2 or 3 seasons and not use the it'll destroy the inside of the carburetor. I've pulled carburetors off of pressure washers and lawnmowers that were just filled with white crap, and they were not repairable. They weren't. You couldn't clean them. You couldn't repair them. So they had to be replaced because of the ethanol. And just the opposite with carts or engines that I've worked on that have used nothing but ethanol-free fuel. All I had to do was clean the varnish out and they were fine. This ethanol-based fuel sucks. It is not good for carburetors. Wow, brain fart. That's what happens when I read 3 or 4 comments in a row and I am talking at the same time. Let's see. All right, let's go back to where I was here. Friend has a 95cc DS. Oh, Club Car DS. He's hearing almost like whining noise intermittently coming from the rear end area. Any offhand advice? What to look for? Check the oil in the rear. It might be, if the axle seals are leaking, it might be out of oil. Let's see. I'm not sure what you're saying okay to, Mr. D. 2005, one owner, a little old lady. I doubt it ever got proper tune-up since it was new. Probably not. I've had a few of them myself. I've had a few carts I've picked up where somebody bought it brand new and they're like, oh yeah, I've never changed the oil in it. And I go to change the oil in it and it pours out like mud. And it's like, you know, I don't get it. I don't get it. Why not take care of your investment? Because they're not cheap. You're not talking about a $30 junky thing here. You're talking several thousands of dollars. That's just me though. That's what I got. I followed your advice on your videos. That's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with changing the spark plug, air filter, fuel filter, and all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. It's better to change it and it doesn't need it than have to change it when it does need it, because usually by then there's something wrong. I work on my Harley Davidson motorcycle or golf cart. I'm willing to bet that carburetor you had was, if you're going to want to send me pics, I bet you it's probably pretty messed up. Oh, okay, a motorcycle. No fluid leaking, oil in rear end is good. It sounds like an electric motor spinning fast. Maybe a bearing. It's possible. Yeah. It's possible it could be a bearing. Wait a minute, is it an electric or a gas? Club Car DS, because the electrics do have a whine to them. They spin at a much higher RPM than the gas ones do. It could be the electric motor if it's electric. Electric motors do make a little bit of a whine noise. Some of them are silent, but not all of them. Gas 290. Okay, so yeah, it's possible it's a bearing. They're usually there's a lot of bearings in those rears. If it's only whining, it probably would be okay. But if it's whining, it could just be gear whine. If it's groaning, like if it's got a grumble to it, then it's bearings. You know, Jason, I was thinking about that the other day, doing like a viewer picks of people's golf carts and things that they have found in their own golf carts. I've thought about doing that. I just haven't figured out exactly how I want to go about doing that, where I'm going to get pictures from everybody. I'm thinking about, I don't know, I thought about setting up like a temporary mailbox or something for people to email them to. But at the same time, there's also like Instagram or Twitter or whatever. If somebody uploads them to Twitter and shares and tags me in them, you know, Kevin's golf carts in them, I could look at them then. But that is something that I've been considering doing, because I think that'd be pretty neat. I'd be interested in seeing what a lot of custom golf carts are out there that you guys have built, because I know a lot of you that watch my channel build your, you know, have built your own custom cart. Basically, you've done all sorts of upgrades and everything to it. Wow, it is windy out there. Yeah, so that is a really good idea. That's something I've been kind of messing around with in the back of my brain. I just haven't really figured out exactly how to do it. I mean, like I said, I have a couple of different ideas. I just want to figure out what's going to work best and what's easier for everybody. I mean, getting a Twitter account is pretty easy. And if you have a smartphone, I mean, you could take a picture from your smartphone and send it right to Twitter. Email's a little trickier for some people. Should my 97 TXT way over the top? Oh, it should see. Yeah, car guy. See, I know you've got like $500,000 invested in your cart. I would love to see yours. I mean, not literally, but you know, I would like to see your cart. I know you said you've got a pretty nice one. I wish I still had a video and pictures of my old diesel. It is lifted 4 inches. Doesn't sound like a wheel bearing. Would when they go bad. I did read that the lifting them changes the ratio and could speed up the cart. Maybe that. Yeah, if it's lifted, you're changing the drivetrain ratios, and you're gonna make that rear end work a lot harder. So you're probably getting gear whine. You're a cart virgin, not even lifted yet. That's fine. You don't have to lift it and do crazy things to it just to enjoy it. You can still enjoy it even if it's stock. I have a lot of my golf carts are stock. I enjoy driving them that way. Like I have a lot. I have like 2 or 3 of them. It's not like a lot, but they're all like trade-ins that I couldn't resell or wouldn't resell. Or somebody gave it to me and I threw an old set of batteries in it, so I just keep it for a putz around. Woozy Tube, you're welcome. I'm glad you enjoy my videos. But if your oil is good in the rear, it's probably just gear whine. If it increases with speed, and if it goes away when you let off the throttle and it comes back when you get on the throttle, or it's there when you're climbing hills, when the rear end is under load, or if there's a lot of people on the cart or anything like that, I'm willing to guess it's probably gear whine, which is fine as long as it's not getting louder and louder and louder every time you drive the cart, or you know, progressively worse. Then you should be okay. I know the older Easy Goes, like the old Marathons and TXTs, sound like when you put them in reverse and go backwards, because of the way they're set up, they sound like a stick shift when you're in reverse. They have that gear whine. It sounds pretty neat. Easy Goes had some of the strongest rears. When I worked at the golf course, the guys there would beat the snot out of them. They were old 94 Marathons that they would just beat the crap out of them. They'd be going downhill, or they'd be backing up, and then they'd flop it into forward without even stopping, and you just hear that wee click. It's like, oh my God. Yep, if that's the sound, that's gear whine. You should be fine then. I don't think... just keep an eye on it the next few times you're using the cart, especially if you drive it a long distance or for a long period of time, if it sounds the same from the start to finish with a very minor change in tune, you should be fine. It will change tune a little bit while you're driving it, especially once the gear oil and the gears warm up. They're going to expand a little bit, so it might mesh a little better, and it might get quieter or it might get louder, as long as it's not groaning, like where, if you know what bad wheel bearings or bad bearings sound like, you should be fine, as long as it's not doing that. Let me go back here. I'm going to have to take a break in a minute here. I'm not going to end the stream, but I have to take a pee pretty soon. So, because I drank like 5 cups of water. Leave a pee. You never take a pee. It's like when somebody says, I got to take a dump. It's like, no, you can't take a dump. You leave a dump. Where are you taking it? I know, gross, right? But hey, whatever. We're all human. We all do it. I don't want to hear no crap. No pun intended. All right, let me go back and read some of these comments here. Jeez, you guys are killing me. Gear time video, huh? Mr. D, you are trying to get me to rip a rear end apart, aren't you? You are just dying for one. All right, Jason, let's see. Oh, do you know what kind... do you know what I know of one place that does tilt steering? Oh... I know who you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it, but no, I don't know. Anytime you get into stuff like that, now you're getting into novelty or specialty equipment, they know what they've got and they know people want it, so they know what they're going to charge. I have never done a tilt steering column on a golf cart. Wanted to, bad, but I wasn't able to plunk that kind of money down on it. Let's see here. My favorite is a 99 club car. Total piece of shit, but I love to drive it. Yeah. They're so much. I have, what do I have? There was a cart that I had. I think I crushed it, though. I sent it to the junkyard because it just rotted out. Beat the crap out of it. It was an old E-Z-Go. Oh, yeah, it was an E-Z-Go Medalist. It was a 95. An electric, 36 volt. That cart was strong until I killed it. Well, actually, it was strong until I sold the electric motor out of it. And then melted all the battery cables. I used to tow my, I used to move my trailers around the yard with it. It was like my little jockey truck. Let's see, that was a, yeah, 95 Medalist. Let's see, yes, exactly, that's the sound. Okay. Woozy tube, yeah. Yeah, like I said, just keep an eye on that noise. If it gets worse, then address it. But if it stays the same or hasn't changed since it started, then, or since you've noticed it, then I wouldn't worry about it. If you check the rear diff oil and there's little fine shavings in it, you might want to be a little concerned. Or if it's the first time that you've changed it, you're going to have metal shavings in it. Change the fluid. After the second or third time, if there's still fine particles in there where it looks really shiny and silvery, then you might have an issue. But I don't think so. I think you might be all right. All right, where did I leave off here? That's what I own, a 94 Marathon, and it runs amazing. Those Marathons were the best. The 94s were my absolute favorite. Uzi Tube, awesome, great information. You're welcome. Jason, yes, all that water. Yeah, definitely all that water. I want your 94 Marathon. I want to do a big block and put airbags on one, in one. Too bad. I just wish the front suspension was better than the leaf spring setup. Yeah. Yeah, you know what though, the leaf spring setup's really not terrible, but yeah, it could be better. I mean, club cars and Yamahas have had independent front suspension forever. Independent suspension on the club cars, but Yamahas have true struts in the front. The club car is just a leaf spring instead of a solid axle like the E-Z-Gos. By the way, did Santa bring you any new tools? No. but I did. Nothing exciting. Nothing that I wanted, it was stuff that I needed. Nothing like buying a tool that you need. It's more fun to buy tools that you want. I put the Jake's IFS in my 97. Awesome setup. I like the Jake's lifts kit, the Jake stuff. The Jake makes a lot of really good stuff. It's just expensive. You know what? I'm going to check something out real quick here. I am going to add a thingamajig. Bear with me one moment. We are gonna what is this? Aha. I'm gonna you guys are gonna get to see some of my old whatchamacallit here in a second. Oh, wait a minute. Let's delete that. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let's see, I'll send you what I found, but it's going to require cutting on my steering shaft. Yeah, that's the problem with some of that stuff there. I put a J. Okay, we got that one. I can't send a link. Have to check it out later. That sucks. Yeah, just post it in the when the video's done in the comment section, because I have links off so to kind of keep the bots at bay. Golf carts are like the HD and Harley Davidson. Everything's a minimum of $100. Yeah, sometimes more than that. Sometimes more than that. I have to pee. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I almost clicked the end stream button. I'm not ready to end the stream yet. I see what you're doing, Mr. D. Mockingbird, everybody, have you heard? Yeah, that's a good movie. And then they ruined it by making a second one. Yeah, now I better make a meme out of that. Go for it. All right, let's see what we got here. Dun, 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 dun. French voice 1 minute later. Easy Go Workhorse. 2001 wiring is screwed up. Any chance of a video? Probably not. Because I don't get a lot of those in. I have had exactly 0 workhorses in my shop. Ha ha ha, Jason, you're funny. It's just random music I had left over from when I used to make a lot of other videos. So you're saying there's a chance? Yes! Sorry, headphone users. I don't know if that clipped or not, but I'm sure it did. Well, let's see, how long we've been going here? I think I'm going to cut the stream off at 2 hours. We've got another about... Jesus. We have another 10 minutes left, and then I'm going to end the stream. So if you got any questions, just spit them out. Look at that. See, I'm almost done with this glass of water already. And so, you know what adds to the delay? Is I have the camera that I'm using right now is the same camera I use to make the videos, going into an Elgato HD60, because it's what I have, into the computer, and then it goes through the computer into OBS, which is my streaming software, and then it uploads to YouTube. And then there's like a 10-15 second delay. It could have been like Five Finger Death Punch. No, it couldn't, because then I'd get a copyright strike. It has to be royalty-free music, which all of it is. And believe it or not, that's my hold music too when you call. You won't get it now because I'm closed. Oop, what's that noise? I apologize if you hear me burping in my chest making weird noises. See, like that? I heard that. I felt it. Because it was in me. The Stones. They're in me. References. You know, I thought about doing that too, having just sit down and have a drinking stream, but not a getting drunk drinking stream, just like a casual drinking stream. Because it's only 4:30 right now. I still have a bunch of work I got to get done. Or at least stuff I want to try to get done while I have some daylight and it's not raining. I can't have beer because it gives me wicked indigestion, and if I drink vodka, I'd be out after like 3 shots. I like wine. Wine doesn't bother me so much. Wow, it's getting really windy. Hey, no problem, car guy. This is fun for me too. Believe it or not, I used to do this stuff all the time. I used to do a lot of live streaming, but I've been putting off live streaming on the channel until about 5,000 subscribers. But we're pretty close to that now. Where's my 4.58 thousand? So, 4,500 plus subscribers, which is, to me, is a huge deal. Yes, I know there are so many other channels out there that are way bigger than mine. Makes mine look like a little pissant channel, which is no big deal. I don't care. I do this because I like helping people. Don't crush the marathon. can't make any promises. Tips or hints for installing fender flares on a G29. I already put Jake's 3-inch lift and rear seat kit on it. Fender flares are street legal. Oh, fender flares and street legal light kit is next. Try to be consistent left side and right side. That's really all I can say. I put those on a G29, the fender flares. They're a little tricky to get lined up with the body because especially if you just take them out of the box, they're a little wonky. So they get out of alignment. You put them on there and it doesn't line up here, it doesn't line up there. You kind of try to find yourself a reference point on the cart that you can line up to on the other side. For example, rocker arm. You get it as close to the rocker arm as possible. Even if you don't have to go measuring, just eyeball it. Because if you're not going to really see it when it's, left to right. Now, if it's significantly out left to right, you're going to see it. But like if you're only off by like a millimeter or two, then it doesn't matter. You just got to try to line them up as best as you can by eye. And follow the same line on both sides of the cart, left side of the cart, left side of the cart and the right side of the cart. When you're doing respectively which fender flare you're doing. They're mostly designed to be eyeballed installed. There's no real right or wrong way. Don't use Velcro because they will fall off. Don't crush the marathon. God is great, beer is good, people are crazy. You can't drink wine. Some people can't, just like I can't drink beer. I used to drink beer, but I can't drink it anymore. It just, I don't like what it does to me, how it makes me feel the next day. I like the fact that you're a real guy. A lot of other channels are more bling than anything. Oh, I know. I try to keep it as straightforward and to the point. I mean, there's going to be a few changes coming when I start bringing more videos. Like I'm going to put things on the bottom of the screen to kind of annotate things that I'm doing. Like there'll be the year, make, and model of the golf cart that I'm doing. It'll be on the bottom of the screen, and then little things like that. But I'm not gonna blow it all up going with stupid stuff. If the flares come with the plastic push things, don't use them. Use the stainless steel nuts and bolts. Yeah. Don't use those plastic Christmas tree push-in things because they'll just work themselves out. What I use rivets. I'll use aluminum rivets because I just like the way the rivet head looks. Or, stainless steel stuff. That's fine too. In fact, I've started changing out the hardware that comes with the seat kits to stainless steel hardware or grade 8 because I don't like the crap that they come with. All that stuff is so expensive now because of the trade war. That stuff will never come down. I actually got into an argument with somebody about the trade war. I said, yeah, thanks to that, now all of this, not going to get political, and I'm not going to say your guy versus my guy. This is just a financial thing. All of the stuff that is impacted by the trade war has gone up X percent. Okay, 5, 10, 15, some cases 60%. When or if this trade war thing disappears, that stuff's not going to drop in price very quick. It's going to stay way up there because the profit margin is going to go from this to this. Guarantee it. Where I'll drop the prices when I'm able to. I mean, I try to keep them because I'll be the one beating everybody's prices. But we'll see what happens. Hey, Michael Sanborn, how are you? Cross country expediters. Hey, great videos. They will be very helpful to me this summer as I will have about a dozen or so carts to maintain. The repair this summer at Flathead Valley Campgrounds in Montana. Awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad they help. But once you get in, once you get your feet wet with working on carts, and if you do it regularly, a lot of this stuff is very easy. It's not hard. You just got to pay attention to what you're doing. And I've said this in other videos, and I'll say it again. If you're getting yourself into something that looks a lot more involved than you feel comfortable doing, don't do it. Or if you do feel comfortable doing it and you're not sure what is going to happen, take pictures. Break out your phone, take a video, take a lot of pictures from different angles of what you're about to disassemble, so that way when you do put it back together, you'll have something to reference from. I do that, and I've been doing this as a business, I've been doing this for actually 10 years, July 1st. But as somebody who's been working on golf carts, I've been doing this for 15 plus years. I can't even remember how long I've been doing them. It's been a long time. Which rear seat do you recommend? Well, obviously it's going to be the seats that I sell, which will be the Rocks. The Rocks Rhino seats I install. I install a lot of those. They're a little bit more expensive than some of the other ones, but they're an all plastic injection molded body, flip over, solid bed, no seams, no hinges. That's what I do. Car guy, you use double take bodies and stuff. Okay. Yeah, check that stuff out. I don't use a lot of that stuff. See, the problem for me is I buy such small quantities of stuff. If I was going to get a complete body kit for a cart, it would be well into like the $700-800 range just to get it shipped here, because of the shipping for one body on a pallet is going to be the same amount of money as like to have a palletized product. If I have one golf cart body on a pallet, it's going to cost the same amount of shipping as it would for 30 golf cart bodies. I don't sell enough of bodies to justify it, so that's why I don't really do it. You didn't know I had a store? What's wrong with you? Just kidding. Yeah, I have links to everything down in all of my videos. Descriptions have links to products I use. And if you click on that link, most of them will take you to an Amazon affiliate link. So I do get a little cutback from every link that is used, but it doesn't change the price of the product that you're looking for. I'm just giving you the business card, guy. I'm not really, I'm sure you knew that. You seem like a normal human being. Let's see, I think I missed something here. ROHX Rocks. Or wait, I spelled it wrong. Yeah, I spelled it wrong. Squirrel. RHOX is Rocks. And that's the Red Hawk house brand, which I am a dealer. Is that how you say that? I am a dealer for Red Hawk. No, car guy, we're normal. Everybody else is messed up. Everybody else is screwed up. Sorry, I'm going to miss your show. I have to give a friend of mine a ride. Don't worry about it, Chuck. This isn't the last one. I'll be doing these a lot more this month because of the stay-at-home orders and non-essential businesses being closed. Oh, there'll be plenty more to come. I'm glad you're able to stick around for as long as you did. Let's see, I missed a couple of them here. Okay, so Michael, yeah, videos and pictures, very good reminder, good idea, reminder. Even if it's something like myself, if I'm going to change a controller out in a cart, I still, just because of habit and just for a good, cheap insurance policy, I take pictures of anything and everything I'm going to change. Because it takes one time to hook a controller up backwards and you kill it. And that's a very expensive mistake. And that is not a warrantable mistake either, because that's your fault kind of thing. But back to your comment, car guy, about the double take bodies. I don't really sell a lot of bodies. I don't even sell a lot of tops because it's just so expensive to ship them. A lot of the Rocks tops, like the 108-inch tops, or 118-inch tops or whatever the hell they are. They're so long, and the only way they can be shipped is on 2 pallets via freight truck. And shipping is a minimum of $300. So it's just not, it's not worth it. I've actually taken them down off my site because I've had people buy them, and depending on the shipping company and depending on which terminal they end up in, they get damaged. And that really sucks because it just turns into a logistical nightmare, so I don't sell them. Now, I'll order them for myself, and I'll order 4 or 5 of them just to kind of break down the cost per shipping each a little bit per item, and then I'll install them on customer carts or carts that I'm going to dress up and sell. But yeah, the rock stuff is good. It's just like most of it, no matter which vendor you get it from, most of it is made in China. Except for the Jake stuff. Most, if not all of their stuff is made in America. I wish more stuff was made here. But I wish more stuff was made here that had the same quality as stuff made in other countries. So, I mean, you could say, I'm going to buy only American, but you have to say you want to buy American-made quality products, not American-made products. Because not everything made in America is quality. I've had stuff that I bought that was made in America and it fell apart faster than the stuff made in China. I don't know if you guys could hear that wind. That is strong. And it's an unfortunate fact, and I hate that fact. There used to be a lot of great things made in America. But money talks and walks, I guess. Well, guys, you know what? I think we're going to call it here. I'm just going to skim through chat real quick here and make sure I didn't miss anything. I think with the next live stream, I'm going to try to get the chat window on top of the streaming window so that way it'll always be there. I know how to do that. I'm just trying to find a better way to do it than some of the options that I've been exploring. I know there's 1.5 million different ways to do that. I know how to do it. I know how to make it work. I just want to make it work good, where it looks clean. That's all. Next live stream, we will be doing it here in the office. Probably. I don't think I'll be going over to the storage building and doing it, only because it's so much more convenient to sit in my comfy chair and I can see this chat. I got a nice big window here with the chat on it. I can see my live stream. I'm watching myself. When I look at the camera, I have my live stream just off to my left, your right, and it's perfect. Well, it's YouTube. It's not really perfect. Okay, let's just check this stuff out here. Let's see. All right, Michael says, funny to actually see the man behind the voice and the hands that repairs the carts. Yeah, you don't really see my face at all in many of the videos, and that's not on purpose either. That's just because we're not trying to do videos on my face. We're trying to do videos on golf cart repair. And who cares what my face looks like? Usually see my hands in the back of my head. Yeah, I guess that's true, because usually my big fat head gets in the way when I'm working on stuff. Because I usually focus on the repair and not so much where the camera is, and I've been trying to work on that a little bit. But I appreciate everybody joining me on this live stream. I'm going to call the stream here. This is going to be it. So I just want to thank everybody so much for hanging out with me. This was a lot of fun. I hope I answered all of your questions. I tried to answer them to the best of my knowledge, at least at this time. Yeah, there's going to be questions you guys are going to ask, and I'm going to not have the answer right away, but I will do my best to try to find the answer for you, especially if it's something that I don't do on a regular basis. If you ask me about a specific cart and I haven't worked on that cart, I can't really give you an answer, and I'm not going to give you a BS answer just to give you an answer. I'd rather you have the correct, proper information for that question. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it for this stream. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to check the links down in the video's description to products I use every single day to bring you these videos. and fix carts and all that stuff. They are monetized links, but they don't cost you anything extra to use them. They do help support this channel and make these videos possible. So, all right guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next.